The people making real money with AI right now aren't doing what you think. They aren't working 80-hour weeks. They aren't glued to their screens fighting burnout. They have built a machine to do the work for them. If you are watching this, I know exactly what your week looks like. You wake up to an inbox full of fires to put out. You spend half your day copying and pasting data between spreadsheets. You are replying to the same client questions for the 100th time, and by the time you actually get to the high-value work, the stuff that actually makes you money, you are exhausted. I have been there. 2 years ago, I was working 60-hour weeks, but only getting paid for 20 of them because the administrative bloat was eating me alive. That ends today. In this video, I am going to show you the 7 exact AI automations that gave me my life back. We are going to look at the specific set it and forget it systems that save me over 20 hours every single week. I am not talking about vague theories. I am going to show you how to automate your client onboarding so you look professional while you sleep. I will show you how to turn a messy inbox into a prioritized to-do list automatically. And I will show you how to turn one video into a week of social posts without hiring an agency. Here is the honest truth. Setting this up takes work. You might have to spend a Saturday afternoon connecting these tools. It can be frustrating at first, but the trade-off is simple. You invest 5 hours now, and you get 1,000 hours back over the next year. That is not an exaggeration, that is just math. You do not need to know how to code. You do not need a massive budget. You just need to follow the steps I am about to show you. If you can drag and drop, you can build a business that runs itself. Let us dive in. Before we open the toolkit, we need to address the invisible barrier that keeps most side hustlers stuck at the starting line. It is not a lack of customers, and it is not a lack of talent. It is the I will just do it myself trap. When you are starting from zero, your most abundant resource is time, and your scarcest resource is money. So it makes sense to do everything yourself. You write the emails, you schedule the meetings, you organize the files, and you post the content. You wear every hat because you have to. But here is where the trap snaps shut. As you get a little bit of traction, maybe your first 2 clients or your first few sales, the administrative noise gets louder. You tell yourself, it only takes 2 minutes to send that invoice, or it is faster if I just copy and paste this data myself than setting up a tool. And you are right. In the moment, it is faster. But that is the wrong way to measure it. You need to understand the concept of context switching. Research shows that every time you stop doing high-value work, like creating content or building your product, to handle a low-value task like answering a scheduling email, it takes your brain about 20 minutes to get back into the flow. So that 2-minute email did not cost you 2 minutes. It cost you 22 minutes of deep focus. If you do that 3 times an hour, you have effectively destroyed your ability to do deep, profitable work for the entire day. This is why you finish an 8-hour workday feeling exhausted but wondering why you did not actually get anything important done. You were busy, but you were not effective. There is also a financial ceiling here. If your goal is to make $5,000 a month, your time needs to be worth roughly $30 to $50 an hour. Every time you spend an hour manually organizing a spreadsheet or fighting with your calendar, you are effectively hiring yourself to do $10 an hour work. You are the CEO of your life, but you are spending your day doing the work of an intern. You cannot scale a business if you are trapped in the admin. I know what you are thinking because I thought it too. But I am not a tech person. Automations break. It sounds complicated. Here is the honest truth. The pain of learning these systems is temporary. The pain of staying stuck in manual work is permanent. Most beginners look at automation as being lazy. I want you to reframe that right now. Automation is about respect. It is about respecting your own time enough to protect it. It is about acknowledging that your brain power is too valuable to be spent on tasks that a piece of software can do for pennies. You do not need to be a developer to fix this. You do not need to learn Python or write code. The tools we are about to look at are built for normal people. They use visual builders, literally connecting blocks together on a screen. If you can sketch a flowchart on a napkin, you can build these automations. So, we are going to move from the hustle harder mindset to the build systems mindset. We are going to fire you from the $10 an hour tasks so you can focus on the $50 an hour wins. The first step is reclaiming your inbox. This is where most dreams go to die, buried under a mountain of unread messages and scheduling conflicts. Let me show you exactly how to fix that. To fix your inbox and the rest of your business, we aren't just going to download another productivity app, we are going to build a simple machine. Before we click any buttons, you need to understand the engine we will be using today. It is the exact same framework for all 7 automations. Once you understand this one concept, you won't just be copying my steps. You will be able to build whatever you need. I call it the AI sandwich. Every automation has 3 layers. First, you have the trigger. This is the bottom slice of bread. This is a tool like Make.com or Zapier. Its only job is to watch for something to happen. It sits there waiting for a new email, a new calendar invite, or a new form submission. It is the lookout. Second, you have the brain. This is the meat in the middle. This is where we plug in ChatGPT or Claude. In the old days of automation, you had to program strict rules like if email contains the word invoice, move to folder X. But that breaks easily. With AI, we can just say, read this email, understand if the client is angry or happy, and draft a response accordingly. It brings human-level judgment into the machine. Third, you have the action. This is the top slice of bread. This is where the result happens, creating a draft in Gmail, sending a message to Slack, or adding a row to a spreadsheet. I know words like API and workflow can sound intimidating, so forget them. Think of Make.com like a digital waiter. You are simply telling the waiter, when a customer sits down, that is the trigger, go tell the kitchen to cook a burger, that is the AI, and then bring it to table 5, that is the action. That is literally all we are doing. We are just connecting dots. For everything I am about to show you, I will be using Make.com. I prefer it over Zapier for beginners because it is visual. It looks like a mind map. If you can draw a line between 2 boxes on a screen, you can build these systems. Plus, they have a generous free plan. You might be worried about the cost of the AI part. Let me be honest about the numbers. To run these automations using OpenAI's API, it costs literal pennies. I processed over 1,000 emails last month through this system, and my bill was less than $3. Compare that to hiring a virtual assistant for $20 an hour. The return on investment is infinite. You do not need a computer science degree. You do not need a corporate budget. You just need to be willing to set this up once. So, you have the tools, you understand the trigger, brain, action logic. Now, let us apply this to that overflowing inbox and build our first real automation. Here is exactly how it works. Let us start with the automation that saves me the most mental energy every single day. The intelligent inbox triage. If you are like I was, you treat your inbox like a to-do list. You open an email, read it, mark it as unread because you cannot deal with it right now, and then stress about it later. You are touching the same email 3 or 4 times before you actually do anything with it. That is a massive waste of time. We are going to build a system where AI reads your email for you and tells you exactly what to do. Open up Make.com and create a new scenario. Your trigger is the Gmail module, specifically watch emails. You set this to run every 15 minutes. Now, here is where the magic happens. You add an OpenAI module, that is the brain, and you select Create a Completion. In the prompt box, you are going to paste the body of the email, but the instructions you give the AI are critical. I want you to use this exact prompt. You can pause the video and write this down. Tell the AI, you are my executive assistant. Analyze this email and categorize it into one of 4 buckets: urgent client issue, new lead, newsletter or spam, or scheduling. Then, summarize the request in 1 sentence. Finally, you add your action module. I use Slack for this, but you could use a Google Sheet or Trello. I have the system send me a direct message that says, new email from name, category, urgent. Summary, needs the contract signed by Friday. Think about what just happened. You do not have to open Gmail. You do not have to read through 5 paragraphs of fluff to find the action item. You just look at your phone, see urgent contract, and you know exactly what to prioritize. You can ignore the newsletters and the low priority stuff until later. This alone saves me about an hour a day of just staring at my screen, paralyzed by clutter. Now, let us move to the second automation, which is the meeting concierge. How many times have you finished a great call with a potential client, promised to send them a summary and a proposal, and then life happens? You forget. Or you wait 3 days and by then, the lead has gone cold. For this setup, you need a recording tool. I use fireflies.ai or otter.ai because they integrate easily, but you can even just record on Zoom. Here is the workflow. The trigger is new transcript available. The brain is ChatGPT. The action is create draft in Gmail. This is the part that makes clients think I have a full-time staff. I tell the AI, read this transcript. Identify the client's 3 main pain points. Identify the budget they mentioned. Then, Write a friendly follow-up email thanking them for their time, summarizing those 3 pain points, and proposing a next step. Keep the tone professional but casual. I do not let the AI send the email automatically. That is risky. I have it create a draft in my Gmail. So, when I finish my calls for the day, I open my drafts folder and there are 5 perfect emails waiting for me. I review them, maybe tweak one sentence, and hit send. What used to take me 90 minutes of writing now takes me 5 minutes of reviewing. The best part? The AI actually listens better than I do. It catches details I missed, like specific dates or budget constraints, and ensures they are in the follow-up. You look hyper-organized, and you never drop the ball. Let us talk about the third automation, and this is the big one for anyone trying to grow a brand: the content repurposing engine. We all know we need to post on social media to get clients, but writing LinkedIn posts, tweets, and newsletters takes hours. Most people give up because they run out of ideas. Here is the reframe: you do not need more ideas, you need to squeeze more juice out of the ideas you already have. If you record one YouTube video, or even just a voice memo on your phone while you are walking the dog, that is your source material. Here is the build. Your trigger is new file in Google Drive. You upload your video or audio file there. The brain steps in with a multi-step prompt. First, you ask it to transcribe the audio. Then, you run that transcript through ChatGPT with 3 different instructions running in parallel. Instruction 1, turn this transcript into a compelling LinkedIn post with a hook, 3 bullet points, and a call to action. Instruction 2, turn this transcript into a Twitter thread of 5 tweets. Instruction 3, turn this transcript into a short, value-packed email newsletter. The action? Send all of these text blocks into a Google Doc or a Notion page. So, you record a 10-minute video on Monday. By Monday afternoon, you have a Google Doc waiting for you with a week's worth of social content. You did not stare at a blank page. You did not fight with writer's block. You just talked about what you know, and the machine did the heavy lifting. I want to pause here for a second because I can feel some of you thinking, but won't the AI content sound robotic? This is a valid fear. If you just say, write a LinkedIn post, yes, it will sound like a robot. It will use words like delve and landscape and game changer. The secret is in the system prompt. In your API settings or at the start of your instructions, you need to give the AI a persona. I pasted 3 of my best performing emails into the prompt and said, analyze my writing style. Notice how I use short sentences. Notice how I do not use corporate jargon. Write the new content matching this exact tone. It takes about 20 minutes to refine that prompt. But once you have it, the output is 80% ready to go. You add your human touch to the final 20%, and nobody will know the difference. Now, let us look at automation number 4, the smart client onboarding. This is where you make your money, but it is also where the most administrative friction happens. You get a new client, and suddenly you need to send a contract, an invoice, a welcome packet, and a link to your project board. Doing this manually is a recipe for errors. Here is the flow. The trigger is simple. You move a deal to one in your CRM, like HubSpot or Pipedrive, or even just check a box in a Google Sheet. The automation wakes up. Step 1, it goes to your accounting software like QuickBooks or Stripe and generates an invoice. Step 2, it goes to Google Drive, makes a copy of your new client folder template, and renames it with the client's name. Step 3, it sends an email to the client with the invoice attached, the link to their new folder, and a warm welcome message. You literally click one button, deal 1, and the client gets a world-class onboarding experience instantly. They think, wow, this person is on top of it. Meanwhile, you are making a sandwich. This builds massive trust. Clients judge your competence by your speed and organization. If it takes you 3 days to send an invoice, they subconsciously worry you will be slow with the actual work. If they get everything in 3 minutes, they feel secure. We are halfway through the list, and I want you to notice a pattern. None of these automations are replacing you. They are replacing the admin. You are still the one recording the video. You are still the one doing the sales call. You are still the one doing the actual consulting or design work. The AI is just the glue that holds the business together so you do not fall apart. Let us get into number 5, the project watchdog. This one saves me from the most embarrassing business mistake, missing a deadline. We all have good intentions, but when you are juggling 5 projects, things slip. This automation is your safety net. I use a project management tool like Notion, Trello, or Asana. It does not matter which one. The trigger is task due date is tomorrow. The action is twofold. First, it sends me a Slack message. Heads up, the Smith project deliverable is due tomorrow. Are we on track? But here is the clever part. If the status of that task is not marked done, it drafts an email to the client. The AI writes, "Hi client, just wanted to give you a quick update on the project due tomorrow. I am putting the finishing touches on it, but I might need an extra 24 hours to ensure it is perfect. Does that work for you?" Again, it saves it as a draft. So if I wake up and realize I am behind, the apology email is already written. I can send it proactively. Proactive communication solves 99% of client problems. If I finish the work on time, I just delete the draft. This automation acts as my insurance policy against my own forgetfulness. Automation number 6 is a bit different. This one is about protecting your focus. The no distraction gatekeeper. We talked about context switching earlier. This automation physically stops distractions from reaching you. I use a time tracking tool called Toggle, but you can use a simple button on your phone. When I start a deep work session, I click a button. That trigger fires a sequence. 1. It updates my Slack status to deep work, do not disturb. 2. It turns on an autoresponder in my email that says I am currently in a deep work session and check emails at 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. I will respond then. 3. It blocks my calendar so nobody can book a last-minute meeting. When I toggle the timer off, everything resets. This sounds simple, but it trains people to respect your time. When you automate your boundaries, you do not have to feel guilty about enforcing them. The system is doing it, not you. Finally, automation number 7, the expense tracker. This is the one that saves me during tax season. I used to spend a weekend every year digging through receipts. Never again. The trigger is new email with attachment where the subject contains receipt or invoice. The brain analyzes the PDF or image. It extracts the date, the vendor, the amount, and the category, like software, travel, or meals. The action is adding a row to my business expenses Google Sheet. It is 99% accurate. I just forward any receipt I get to my own email with the subject line receipt, and the robot files it away. At the end of the year, I just hand the spreadsheet to my accountant. It turns a week of stress into zero work. Okay, take a breath. I know I just threw a lot of workflows at you. You might be feeling a mix of excitement and anxiety. You are thinking, these sound great, but which one do I build first? Or what if I mess it up? Here is the I can do this moment you need to hear. You do not have to build all 7 of these today. In fact, please do not. That is the fastest way to get overwhelmed and quit. Pick one, just one. If your inbox is your nightmare, start with the email triage. If you hate writing social posts, start with the content repurposing. Commit to spending one Saturday morning, just 3 hours, building that single automation. It will be frustrating for the first hour. You will connect the wrong bubble. You will get an error message. That is normal. That is the price of admission. But once you get that one flow working, once you see that first email draft itself, or that first invoice send itself, something clicks in your brain. You realize you aren't just a freelancer or an employee anymore. You are an architect. You are building a machine that works for you. And that feeling of getting your time back, it is addictive in the best possible way. So we have the strategy, we have the specific recipes, but there is one missing piece. You can have the best automations in the world, but if you do not have a specific service to sell, you are just automating a hobby. You need to know how to package this into an offer that clients will pay for. Because here is the secret. You can actually sell these exact automations to other businesses. The same system that saves you time is worth thousands of dollars to a local business owner who is drowning in admin work. But that is a topic for another video. For now, I want you to focus on saving yourself first. Here is what I want you to do right now. Do not close this video and go back to scrolling. Do not tell yourself you will look into this later. Pick the one automation that made you nod your head the most. Go to make.com. It is free to start and block out 2 hours on your calendar for tomorrow morning. Treat those 2 hours like a high-stakes client meeting. In a way, it is. It is the meeting that buys your freedom back. 6 months from now, you could be running a business that operates smoothly while you sleep, or you could still be drowning in admin work, wondering where the time went. The only difference is whether you take action on this first step today. If this video gave you a clear path forward, subscribe. Every video here is about building real income with AI. No hype, just actionable strategies. See you in the next one.